So it is that time of the week. I appreciate you guys hanging out and enduring me doing slightly different content recently on the channel. There was some stuff that I wanted to cover. But here we are. We're back. We're trying to debunk and explain a few more UFO clips. I've hand-selected 3 for you guys today that you guys shared with me on our Discord. The link to that is in the description. It's free to join, obviously, so you can join the community there. But as I said, I have 3 exciting UFO clips for you today. Some classics, okay, some videos that we hadn't seen in a while but have been reposted and making the circles on socials recently, but also some slightly newer stuff, okay, and we're gonna try to make sense of it. But without further ado, let's get into the clips. But before we do, please don't forget to smash the like button, okay? It really helps the algorithm. If you enjoy the show, please show it by smashing the like button. Now, the first clip I want to share with you guys has been recorded in my hometown, in London, okay, where I'm currently living. And it's a little bit of a classic. I remember seeing it a few years back, and allegedly it was recorded in 2011, at least that was the year when it was shared, but it was posted 4 days ago by user Bertie's Ghost on Reddit. And we're going to look at it, but before we do, I quickly want to give you a little bit of the background of what he says up here, because he basically says that allegedly there is another video of this object captured, which I would expect because he titles it mass sighting. Okay, it's a mass sighting, guys. So that means hundreds, if not thousands of people witnessed this incredible sighting, but there's only one other video that exists of this alleged object, and that was shot over, and he says London Bridge. That's not what it was. He's got that wrong. It was actually Tower Bridge. Okay, loads of bridges in London. It's this one. And I found the video. To be honest, it's bad quality. I can't even see anything that would classify as a UFO in this video. Also, this was shared 9 years ago, while the original video we're going to look at in a second was shared 12 years ago. So there are a few discrepancies here of him saying it's a mass sighting and that there's another video of that same object. He also says that he posted this video in the main UFO sub last year, subreddit, and it was unfairly declared CGI and fake by the mods because of the data compression artifacts, okay? Obviously it's real. It's the data compression artifacts that make it look fake, all right? Let's take a look. Let's check out the video first and then we discuss. And I apologize for the audio quality. It is despicable. Turn it down ever so slightly. So you notice he's running up to the street corner. This corner, by the way, is Bolsover Street and Clipstone Street. That's the corner right there. The building we're looking at right in front of us, I believe, is the BBC Radio 1 building at the time. I'm not sure they are still based there. But you can see he's pointing the camera at the sky, and there are a bunch of lights, orbs, I guess, zipping across the sky. And there's also a bunch of other people, and I guess that's what makes it a mass sighting. There's a bunch of other people standing on the corner, pointing their phones at the sky. And again, this was filmed in 2011. Keep in mind, 2011 was iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S generation. So that was a little bit of a red flag for me immediately when I saw this footage, because the quality is fairly decent. I did look at some reference footage of like just film recorded with the iPhone 4S. It doesn't look completely awful, not as awful as I remember it. And did you see this? It zipped behind the clouds. Oh my god, UFO confirmed. But even the quality is very badly stabilized. It made me a little bit suspicious. Also, let me go back there just for a second and listen exactly to what's being said. Okay, listen to the background. I hope you can hear it. I apologize. Again, the audio quality is awful. UFO. Where? Did you see it? I don't know if this was a kid that passed by. It sounded like a very high-pitched voice. It could have been a female voice or a kid's voice. And they're like, there's a UFO. And the kid's like, where? Where is it? I don't see anything. But there it is. It re-emerges from behind the clouds. And it almost looks like this kind of lens effect, right? If you're filming something with your phone and a very bright light sits at the exact wrong spot, it can reflect within the internal lenses and create that little effect. But it's not that, I'm pretty sure, because he's zooming into it and you wouldn't have this effect zooming into an object like that. But there's a bit more to it. It's also funny because he keeps filming down, right? And people are staring up, but it's never more than, in this case, 4 or 5 people looking up at the sky on this street corner. And here's one more shot. He looks up and look, there are a bunch of lights that suddenly emerge. The sun, yeah, and they're discussing, you know, what they are seeing, or at least they're putting in effort in trying to discuss what they're seeing, and that is basically it, okay? This is the end of the footage. Also notice it's like 2 minute 20 long. So for something that might be CGI comped in 2011, that's a long video, okay? Because it took a lot of calculating power and time to track items or to track objects at the time onto existing footage. It's not something that you do very quickly on a home computer. So it raised all kinds of questions. It was also covered in the Daily Mail. At the time, people were speculating, are aliens getting less camera shy? UFOs filmed above the BBC building in London. So at the time, this footage really made the circles. However, I think we can easily debunk it. Beyond the points already listed, them being that it's described as a mass sighting and there are 4 other people standing there filming at the sky, but there's no other footage. There's no other corroborating footage that shows the exact same thing, just recorded with a slightly different phone from a slightly different angle. It doesn't exist. But also I found this beautiful breakdown, which shows just 16 seconds of the same footage. And we just watched exactly that. It's towards the end of the video. Now check it out. Here you can see one of the lights. Not perfectly disappearing at the edge of this building, almost as if they are comped into it, right? Now you might say, but how could this been done at the time? I mean, again, it's a 2 minute 20 video. It takes a long time to calculate, at least on a home computer. Well, there's an answer for that as well, because the account that shared this original video, which is called lə:zäːR, however you pronounce that name, shared another video at the time, and that is this one, okay, and got significantly less views. The other one really exploded. This one is only, quotation mark, 305,000 views, and you can see it's the same street corner, right? You can see it. The one, they were basically standing down here on the right hand side. This is what I believe was the BBC building at the time, and they're filming the sky above it, and check it out as soon as the camera focuses. Conveniently, the UFOs appear. So there they are. Okay, it looks very, very similar. Again, shared by the same account around the same time. And here's the problem with this. The place that it was filmed from, this office, what looks like an office that he's walking through in the beginning, is at that time the office of The Mill. Okay, and The Mill is a company which creates visual effects for the film industry. Okay, so we got the wrong clipping of it, kind of going into a building where they didn't do a proper job. We got people, this is my assumption, right? I think they just probably had a good time. The guys that are standing in the other video on the side of the street are actually presumably his colleagues, I have to assume, right? It's a bunch of guys who all work for The Mill, and they're like, that will give it authenticity if we all stand there and everyone points their phone at the sky. Nice thought, and I mean, it does give it authenticity, because if you read the subreddit, you read the comments underneath, it is wild. People are totally buying this stuff. Wow, I've never seen this. That's crazy footage. Finally, a video that shows something immediately speeding away. Yeah, wow. I watched it a few times in detail, and it could be authentic, guys, okay? I actually witnessed a UFO in London, very similar to the footage, the day after this happened. Guys, okay, I basically saw the same thing. That's some of the best footage I've ever seen. So dope. It's so dope, bro. Because people often say, like, I just pick and choose this footage that's, like, easy debunkable. But, dude, look at it. Like, people are believing this stuff. A lot of people are falling for it and taking it at face value. But I think considering that the same account shared another video that was seemingly inside the offices of The Mill's special effect house, which would explain why they had the resources to render something like that in 2011. The fact that we got, like, one of the UFOs kind of glitching into one of the buildings where they didn't do a proper job, and the fact that there is no other corroborating footage that I could find, at least, from all these other people standing there on the side of the pavement recording it, confidently makes me say, it's debunked. It is debunked. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this is a very recent piece of footage, okay? Luckily, the guy shared this original file uncompressed on his Google Drive, and I think the date that he recorded it is in the title. So it is the 3rd of March 2024, so fairly recent. Let's take a look at this footage. And yeah, that's not the UFO. Okay, that's just a guy on a paraglider or some kind of parachute. But there it is. Do you see this? Little white object, and I guess I wouldn't share this, right? If it's just like a little white object, but it's got this strange flickering effect around it, right? Some people commented on this on Reddit as well and on Twitter, saying it almost looks like an atom. It looks like neutrons or whatever is circling around atoms. Don't ask me that, okay? Kind of zipping around this object, right? Like it's surrounded by a bubble of small fizzing objects, or for lack of a better word. And that's intriguing, right? This is like mysterious footage. And then in the end, you may have noticed this, there are like other items flying by. And of course, the subreddit is freaking out. They're like, oh my god, did you see all the other UFOs in the end? It's like birds, dude. Birds and insects, okay? Obviously, this is heavily zoomed in and potentially stabilized into a very small object, but it's intriguing nonetheless, right? Like, what is this? Why does it flicker around like that? Now, here's what's interesting though. OP, the guy who posted this originally on Reddit, posted a comment underneath that said, I just confirmed with the skydiver that was in the air that seen it, and they seen the object and described the orbits as some kind of strings. So it's definitely really happening. It's not an artifact, guys. It's not an artifact. And of course, that's all the proof you need, right? If you're in the UFO subreddit, someone makes a claim. I spoke to that skydiver. He said it was incredible, actually, millions of colors or strings or something. Everyone's like, yeah, that's right. Amazing. And I have to admit, I was puzzled by this as well at first, because I had never seen this before, this kind of artifact, and then him claiming that the guy who was like skydiving underneath it actually saw it. I mean, it looks like it's rather far away, but him being slightly closer, seeing details that we probably can't see from the ground with the naked eye and describing that's crazy. Again, there is no corroborating video that would actually have an interview with the skydiver or a statement where he posted himself and says, I was the skydiver, I saw this. So it's kind of a trust me bro situation. And if you look deeper into it, I guess we're not surprised. There is an easy explanation for what's going on here. Luckily, another person on Reddit went through the effort of posting a video that he shot of an airplane with his Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. And he says, unfortunately, I have to disprove something today. Unfortunately, oh no, the UFO subreddit is gonna hate me for this. I'm actually showing a piece of footage that disproves another clip. Oh no, but we all want to believe. Let's take a look at it. So here he is, filming an airplane. And look at this effect around the airplane. And that is the rubbish stabilization within the Galaxy S22 that creates this effect. And it is literally the exact same effect. Now he deactivated the stabilization. You can see the effect is gone. He's filming the exact same object without the stabilization, and you don't get the flickering, orbiting objects that are around it. But if you look at it, it is more than obvious that that's exactly what it is, and we're getting these artifacts. And the fact that he says, well, the skydiver, I spoke to him, and he saw it, it looks like strings, I have to assume it's just BS, bro. He just made it up, okay? He just wanted to add some more credibility and potentially more clicks and karma that he's farming on Reddit to his post. I don't know what his intentions are, but I have to assume it's absolute nonsense, because clearly the effect that we see in the original video is caused by this particular image stabilization using a mobile phone camera. So again, second video in a row. We're on a roll today. Debunked. It's debunked. It's debunked. This is the first time I'm making literal monkey noises in a video. Well, I guess there's a first for everything. Let's move on to the last one. And this is an intriguing one. It was recorded over Los Angeles a few years ago. It's footage of a spherical UFO, and we get those a lot. So once we looked at the footage, I want to dive a little bit deeper into spherical UFOs in general, because there's some stuff you may have not seen that may explain some of these spherical UFOs that we see floating around. But let's look at this footage. Let's see what they have to say.
Here we have this weird circle in the middle of nowhere.
Circle.
Up in the sky.
There's a circle in the sky.
We don't know what it could be. It looks like
a sideway UFO.
It looks like a big balloon, but we don't.
It's a sideway UFO.
We don't see anything.
So his son or whoever that is just jumping straight to conclusions. He said himself, it kind of looks like a balloon. I think it's white. I don't think it's silver.
Anything holding it.
Doesn't look like there's anything holding
it. Big sphere in the sky.
So yeah, he zooms in a few more times. It is a fairly long video. It's 8 minutes, so obviously we don't need to watch the whole thing. Zooms in and out. And especially when he zooms in, right, you seem to see that there's like a lot of white or like light color on it, and then there's a little bit of a dark spot on that sphere. Unfortunately, his camera is really not good, so we can't make out any detail. There's also a helicopter circling it, right? And obviously all UFO nuts are like, Jesus Christ, that's all the evidence I need. There's a helicopter, military, they want to know what it is, aliens. That's it, full stop. Aliens confirmed, helicopter circling around it. Well, not so fast, bucko. And as the video goes on, you can actually see that the dark spot actually turns from the left side. You remember in the shot we looked earlier, it was kind of on the left side. Now the dark spot is on the right side. And again, it might be that there are two dark spots on the sphere and it's just spinning around slightly so that we can see sometimes the dark spot on the left or then on the right-hand side. But I have to disappoint you guys again. It is perfectly explainable, okay? Because that also made the rounds at the time, and people were speculating, and it went that far that we even got a official confirmation what the object is from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, AARO Bureau. I didn't know that exists, but he confirms that the object was a brass knuckles ad balloon. It was broken loose from Covina, the West Covina area, and basically floating across the sky. And you can see what the dark spot was. It was basically the big brass knuckles logo, the icon on the side of it, and obviously the tether that attached it to the ground broke loose for some reason, and here it is floating across the sky, confusing people, making them believe that it is a UFO. But I mean, beyond this, we often get this footage of spheres floating across the sky, being misread as UFOs, and more often than not, they are just balloons, okay? We remember the one in the airplane where the guy was flying and like this silver sphere came towards him. I'm pretty sure those are just like silvery foiled weather balloons that sometimes fly at the height that they're not supposed to be, so we see them and they confuse people. But there's more to this, because a university in Singapore is working on these free floating silvery spherical drones that can fly around, and we even get a little bit of moving footage of these drones flying around. This is at 10 times speed. Obviously, this feels very much like a prototype. They're testing it in the studio right now. However, if the students are having stuff like that looks like it and operates like it does as we see it here, it's fair to assume that the military may have similar things as well, maybe looking at similar drone technology. And I just wanted to put this out there, not specifically about this brass knuckles balloon that we just looked at, but this kind of stuff exists, okay? And this is a bunch of students. It's probably based on some kind of balloon with helium inside and then maybe with some fans that propel it through the space. I don't know how it works, okay? I'm making it up as I go along, but you can see this stuff exists, and whenever you see a UFO video that is basically a silvery sphere flying across the sky, remember these kinds of things, okay? They exist, and it's much more likely that it's something like that maybe some university is working on or the military is testing, rather than aliens. So guys, that's it for today. 3 clips debunked. Okay, I feel I'm on a streak here. We were able to explain at least all the 3 clips. But guys, this is all just my take on it. I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think this didn't debunk it at all. Please leave your thoughts. Anything you want to say to any of these clips or about the video down in the comment section below. I would love to read your comment, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, smash the like button. Maybe subscribe to the channel. I'm going to produce more of this amongst some of the other videos I do every now and then, but like just ignore those, okay? We're doing more content. There will be more debunking content coming your way, and I'm actually now considering, and you can leave your thoughts on that down in the comment section as well, on debunking some ghost videos as well, right? Take some of these ghost clips that are circulating and kind of share my takes on those. Leave your thoughts on that down in the comments as well. I appreciate your time. That's it. We went way too long. I see you in the next one. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'm out. Bye.